Grand Canyon Werewolf Attack. 7 True Horror Stories. One eerie night, my friends and I decided to venture into the Grand Canyon, hoping to experience its breathtaking beauty under the moonlight. As the sun set, darkness quickly engulfed us, and we found ourselves trapped within the eerie walls of the canyon. Little did we know that this night would turn into a nightmare. The mythical monsters that were said to haunt the canyon began to emerge from the shadows, hungry for their next prey. We stumbled upon a mysterious radio show called Unexplained Encounters, hosted by a figure known as Darkness Prevails. The show featured spine-chilling tales of werewolves, naughty demons, and dreadful curses. As we continued our journey, we noticed strange occurrences around us. The once lively sounds of nature disappeared without warning, replaced by an unsettling silence. Fear began to grip our hearts, and we felt as if we were being watched from every direction. Suddenly, we stumbled upon a grotesque sight, a hairy hand, almost inhuman in appearance, clinging to a tree. Our hearts pounded in our chests as we followed the hand's owner, a terrifying creature with features of a man, a wolf, and something otherworldly. Its large, cat-like eyes stared back at us, freezing us in place. With a terrifying growl, the creature dashed off into the darkness, leaving us shaken and disoriented. We knew we had encountered something beyond our comprehension, and the fear of being stalked by this enigmatic beast haunted us throughout the night. As we sought refuge in our camp, we were not alone. The creature's presence seemed to follow us, and we could hear its heavy footsteps circling our campsite. The beast attacked our tent with a force that defied belief, sending us into a frenzy of screams and panic. Eventually, it relented, leaving us to ponder its motives and what horrors it had in store for us. The next morning, we decided to flee the Grand Canyon, but the terrors of that night would forever remain etched in our minds. We sought answers, turning to local legends of werewolves and skinwalkers that lurk in the wilderness. The reality of encountering a mythical monster was too chilling to ignore. Since that night, we've never set foot in the Grand Canyon again. Haunted by the memory of that dreadful encounter, the experience taught us that there are ancient creatures lurking in the darkness, ready to prey on unsuspecting wanderers who dare to tread into their domain. Our horrifying encounter would forever serve as a warning to all who dare to explore the unexplained and mysterious corners of the world. In the weeks that followed our harrowing encounter in the Grand Canyon, the nightmares only intensified. Each night, we were haunted by the piercing yellow eyes of the creature, watching us from the shadows. Sleep became an elusive escape as terror gripped us even in our dreams. As we shared our story with others, they dismissed it as mere imagination or the result of an overactive mind. But we knew the truth. The Grand Canyon held ancient secrets and malevolent forces that few dared to acknowledge. Our research into local legends revealed horrifying tales of ancient curses and vengeful spirits. We became obsessed with understanding the creature we had encountered, hoping to find a way to protect ourselves from its malevolence. However, the more we delved into the lore, the more our sanity seemed to slip away. Strange occurrences plagued us, and we couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched wherever we went. Paranoia settled in, and our once carefree lives were now filled with dread and unease. In our desperation, We sought the help of local shamans and mystics who claimed to have knowledge of the ancient beings that inhabited the canyon. They spoke of dark rituals and sacrifices that had taken place in the depths of the canyon centuries ago, unleashing malevolent spirits that now roamed freely. But their attempts to appease or banish these spirits proved futile. It seemed that once awakened, the ancient evil was relentless and unstoppable. As the days turned to months, we began to lose hope of ever finding peace. Our group fractured, each one of us burdened with our own fears and trauma from that dreadful night. We became hermits in our own right, avoiding any mention of the Grand Canyon and the terror it held. But the nightmares persisted, growing more vivid and terrifying. The creature we encountered seemed to taunt us, appearing in our dreams in different forms, each time more grotesque and menacing. As the anniversary of that fateful night approached, we decided to face our fears head-on and return to the Grand Canyon one last time. It was a decision born of desperation and madness, but we believed that confronting the creature would break its hold over us. When we reached the canyon, an overwhelming sense of malevolence engulfed us. The once majestic wonder now felt like a cursed abyss, luring us into its depths. As we set up camp, the atmosphere grew heavy with an oppressive darkness. It felt as if the very air was suffocating us. The moon rose, casting an eerie glow over the canyon walls, and we knew that the creature would return. We waited, hearts pounding, for the inevitable encounter, and it did not disappoint. From the shadows emerged the creature, its form shifting between human and beast, a haunting amalgamation of nightmares. With blood-curdling howls, it descended upon us, its malevolent intent palpable. The battle that ensued was a desperate struggle for survival. Our minds and bodies were pushed to the limits, and terror gave way to primal instincts. In the chaos that ensued, we realized that this was not a mere encounter, but a confrontation with ancient evil. We were pawns in a cosmic battle, and our fate had been sealed long before that dreadful night. As the creature overpowered us, its eyes bore into our souls, draining us of hope and life. In our final moments, we saw the truth. We were not the first nor the last to fall victim to this malevolent force. The Grand Canyon was a portal to a realm of darkness, and the creature was but one of many horrors it harbored. Our attempts to defy fate had been in vain, and we were destined to become yet another chilling tale in its malevolent history. As our life force waned, the canyon walls seemed to echo with the laughter of unseen forces, relishing in our demise. Our struggle against the darkness was futile, and we succumbed to the malevolence that lurked in the depths of the Grand Canyon. Our story remained untold, forever lost in the darkness of that cursed canyon. The chilling truth of what lay within its walls would continue to haunt the souls of wanderers, luring them into its grasp with the promise of breathtaking wonder and unfathomable horror.